guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our YouTube account and we are continuing our exploration of the Temporal Rift. So in the last video, guys, I went over all of my Temporal Rift teams. I showed you all the beacons, everything that we were going by. Now we're going to be looking at the Mage guide. So I did Warrior in here. I shared a breakdown of the Rangers. Now we're going to go over and I'm going to show you all of the Warriors, or excuse me, all of the Mages. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop out of this, guys, because I'm going to rebuild this. I'm going to drop out of the Warriors, but we're going to go ahead and check out the guide because it is very, very in-depth. And I want to show it and I want to cover it. And I know it's going to take a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the guide. All right, guys, so here we have the first free-to-play Mage guide. Now, this is over on Reddit as well. I will leave a link down below so you can check it out, guys. There is an incredible amount of content on here, and you can see the time and effort in the breakdown of this. Able to reach at least floor 600 as free-to-play. Mage tank support. It seems Mage and Ranger are doing incredibly well this season. Here are the general recommendations. So the first one, of course, dimensionals. And I love this because not only does it provide the hero, it has the builds that are in here, even with the minimum builds. It shows the badges that they're utilizing, and it also shows the substitutions right down here, where we have Mortis is equal to Palmer, which is greater than. So these two would be actually greater than looking at Yennefer, and then as Leonardo, as Baba Yaga. Again, this is an absolute phenomenal layout, and he actually breaks down every single team that you see here, kind of one by one. It is really, really cool to see the way that these have been kind of broken out. And want to give a big shout out. I want to pull up the guide and make sure, guys, it is Flying Chicken on YouTube. Check out Flying Chicken on YouTube. And again, this guide is absolutely amazing with the breakdown that we're seeing here of all of the different teams. So this again is team one. We have Ainz, we have Albedo, of course, go together perfectly. Merlin for the mitigation, Joan for the mitigation and for the buffs. And then of course, Mortis, the exact same, the mitigation and the buffs within this team itself. Second team here, we get into the cycle. Now this again is very similar to what we've seen from our God tier comp a while ago. Big thing in here is you're dropping out Tassie, you're adding in the awakened version of Solus, an absolute phenomenal character that you should be building. It is the primary hero or the first hero that you do want to build when it comes to the awakened heroes, but we're running the awakened version of Solus and Taylene, which I love. Rowan is in there, Aziz, and then of course the twins with their recommendations. Even looking at a legendary minimum right here with Solus can work, guys. It does work, again, because of the scaling aspect, putting badges, putting beacons. When you build this out, it can work. Now, if you don't have, of course, the sub in here for Solus is right here, Hodgkin, which again would work pretty well. Has crowd control, has buffing. And then we do also have Sonya in here. Now, if you don't have the original version of Taylene, now that is a really, really big hero and a lot of content. They have Lucius in here, which is 000 minimum. So literally just having the hero of Lucius. But again, I would really look at Thorin, look at Damon. Damon, you should definitely have. Thorin, you probably have built as well. Big thing with here, feel free to mix and match. If you don't have Lucius built out, guys, essentially a hero that is going to be far greater built out could perform a lot better just survivability aspect wise. If you have another tank, let's say that's at a 30930, 30960, whatever it may be, that is not in these formations, guys, you can actually change this out, mix and match with the heroes that we do have within these formations. Another one here of my absolute favorite formations, guys, we have Oden and we have Grez, Silas, Desirous, so they are running double support in here, and then Kanisa and Rook for the crowd control. Kanisa and Rook, guys, overall the 9 of 9 furniture works incredibly well within this formation. Now looking at Grez, looking at Oden, looking at Silas, absolutely should be built, guys. They're some of the top priorities within AFK Arena. A lot of players might not have Kanisa and Rook. And Desira only needs a +20 signature item, but the higher that you build out, the better she is going to perform. Now looking in here, we have Halos in here. We also have I'm thinking Satrena, but it's not Satrena. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I'll remember in a minute. But looking down here, this is the big one, guys, is the subs for Kanisa and Rook. Is looking here, guys. We have Damon, we have Thorin, we have Hodgkin, and we also do have a little bit of a built-up Torn right there. His name is Salakai. I always draw a blank on his profile and his picture, but you can see a lot of other tanks. Specifically on my accounts, I do run Damon within this formation, so I run Grez and Damon together just for the utility. Oden, Silas, Desira, absolutely perfect in there. Or I do run Halos within the formation, which works incredibly well. This one, we get into some of the stronger heroes. Looking in here, we have Nevi. We also do have Sonya. Sonya, of course, the higher that you build her out, guys, the better she's going to perform, the more mitigation that she is going to provide. Having the furniture on her does make a really, really big difference. Scarlet, -- priority in AFK Arena. I still feel like for a regular hero, guys, the damage that she brings is phenomenal. Scrag, of course, for the invade. The 10 minimum, but overall, guys, furniture is what you want to build on Scrag. And then we do have Mishka in here, and look, 20960. That is really what makes Mishka shine. Not only the shielding effect that she has, but also the healing effect that she does bring within these formations. And as you can see, guys, there are a lot of subs in here. Awaken Belinda or Belinda is very usable, but legendary, but not better than Scarlet. Unless you have a Belinda that is built up higher, guys, that is really the recommendation. Again, usable at legendary, but let's say you have an Awakened Belinda at 1 star. I would definitely pop Belinda in there if you have her built out versus Scarlet. But Scarlet, of course, is a hero that we're going to build out. Now, looking here, guys, we have Nevi, of course, support. Nemisu in here, very strong because he provides haste, and he will give that haste buff to Scarlet. And then, of course, damage amplification and some mitigation out here with the last 2 support heroes. Definitely looking at these. There are also a lot of other subs that you can see right here, seeing exactly what heroes do work and what heroes you have built. That is one of the very big things, guys, is seeing and really taking inventory of the heroes that you do have built within these formations, and also depending what these substitutions look like within these formations. In the final formation, we have Halos, and we have the Awakened version of Taylene. Now, she is going to be, of course, the very, very burst hero that she is. We have mitigation in here for Peanut. We have Rosaline with Taylene, which is a super interesting combination, but I love it because it's going to result in a lot of multiple ults. And then we also do have Lorazin in here for the Link. The Link with the damage is also going to do a lot of damage to the other hero, which means this team can burst down really fast. And having, of course, Halos right up here, guys, giving the cube right off the bat to the Awakened version of Taylene means Taylene is just going to be amplified within here. And then, of course, sub backline for, Awakened, Taylene, and Rosa are the cores, but these are the sub for the back, depending, again, who you do have built. If you don't have Lorazin, if you don't have Peanut, Flora does work in there. I like Leonardo preferably just for the damage amplification, but also for the crowd control that we do have. Now here, he does mention lack survivability, which again, this is gonna make a big difference because of the crowd control that we're gonna see from Leonardo. As much as I like Flora, Flora is really RNG is what I found. And it kind of does say it here, the RNG energy, Lorazin Link, definitely a pretty cool substitution. Then we have one final one to look at, guys, and that is actually all 5 teams that we covered. Let's look at the final one. And I love this one, guys. You can absolutely see the heroes in the breakdown of this. Again, the guide will be down below. The link to the guide will be down below. When you look at heroes like Leonardo da Vinci right here, ends your run. That is right, guys. He is an absolute team stopper. You have to make sure that you have specific heroes that fight against these. Even here, guys, I've noticed when you fight Thorin, but when you fight Oden, when you fight Iran Raku, some of these heroes can burst your entire team down so incredibly fast. You have to change up the teams. You have to change up the cycles. It even says here, guys, use your cycle, your Graveborn, and your dimensional teams versus the 1, 2, and 3 tiers. These are the heroes, guys. Again, paying attention to this, especially 100%, guys, if you are a free-to-play player, you're going to have to put a lot more time and effort into this game mode just to make it very, very user-friendly, a lot more easier to get through this content, guys, because there are a lot of teams. And again, these are the very, very tough heroes to deal with. And I love that they broke these down, guys. All right, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.